Okay, so before we get started, yeah, that's a good idea. Our good friend here, before we get started here.
I'm a good friend. I moved up to good friend. I started a good friend.
Yeah, my partner in crime for the summer, Ethan Graham, is now the newest employer for Walmart here in Athens, Ohio.
Yeah,
employee, yeah, you're
That's
a
great.
journalism major, but you don't know.
It's great.
He's still working it, whatever. He's getting paid by it. Regardless, he shared with us a very funny story that you need to share to everybody.
Yeah, so I mean, most of the things that, you go through day by day at a grocery store, you just forget what happens, really, because, I'm a cashier. I really kind of forget what happens over the course of an 8 or 9 hour day, just sitting there scanning groceries. But anyway, someone came through my line today. And, you guys know how you go to the deli, right?
Yeah.
And you get, a bag of lunch meat, right? And they get put in a plastic bag. And this lady's putting her groceries down on the belt, getting ready for me to scan them. And she just picks up the entire bag of lunch meat, the deli meat in the plastic bag, and just puts it on her face. Most of the things you forget that happen to you day to day in a grocery store just because it's so monotonous at times. But, that was unlike anything I've ever seen.
Attractive?
No, she was not attractive.
Oh.
Wow, we're going.
So you put a bag of meat, deli meat, on her face.
It was turkey. It was still in the bag. There was no direct meat to face contact, but it was unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
Maybe she was excited to finally get the meat she's been waiting for all day.
Yeah, maybe she's
on her face.
nice huff that turkey, huh? I love meat myself, but I don't think that much. I've
never heard of anyone
put some meat on my face.
So I guess we're gonna have to start having this before we start the podcast. Just a weekly update on Ethan Graham's work schedule with
we could
with the Walmart world.
All jokes aside, it's very nice of those people to give me a job and pay me some money for scanning groceries.
How was working with the Copperheads?
Oh, it's very interesting so far. They're 2-1 right now too.
They are playing right now. I want to give a huge shout out to our own writer and also been on the podcast a couple times, Lucas Morse. Heard him on the way to this podcast set up here in Athens, Ohio. Big news coming out of the podcast world for us.
Let's hear it. I want to hear it.
We have apparel finally coming next week. Again, your size.
Yeah, 2X. So if you're any big guys or gals out there, you can now get your seat at the T apparel. Yes. Very exciting time, isn't it?
We became an official business about a week and a half ago in the state of Ohio. Seat at the T LLC. And today we finally became an official partner with Chase Bank.
Wow.
Ooh, we have an own account. I'll show you guys the credit card afterwards.
Wow. Are they just going to give us money because they're a bank? Is that how it works?
No, we're partners with them, we're banking with them.
I think that's not how it should work.
Did you share a video?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. So guys, we gotta go over our.
We gotta talk about this real quick.
What?
2X. No, it's not that. That's not fat. But imagine we need to get 4X. Guys.
Yeah. If you're straight hefty, if you're straight 450 pounds.
If you're over 2X, let me know. DM us on Twitter.
And you get a free shirt. Honestly, if you're that big, it should just be free.
And it will say Shamu on it too.
Relax,
Oh my God. All right, so gotta go over our sponsors.
Yeah.
You want to go to the first one?
Yeah, J&J Mobile Detailing.
Yes, we are.
Take your car there if you haven't already, if you're in the Athens area over the summer, or even when you're coming back for the school year. It's right behind Avalanche Pizza off East State Street. Anything you need done to your car, these guys will do it. You want them to wash it, wax it, rinse it, shampoo it. I think I pretty much nailed it all. They do a great job. I took my car over there, a couple times throughout the school year, and they do a great job. Second to none. J&J Mobile Detailing on East State Street, right behind Avalanche Pizza. Go check it out.
And tonight I will be at the Pigskin Bar and Grill. Bar and Grill.
Bar and Grill.
You won't. You can eat food there.
I could eat food.
Duncan's on a little stroll of watch out for the popos.
Hiatus.
Still gotta stay smart, people. Not 21 yet.
What?
We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
This is live, people.
We are live. We have squirrels behind us. OU squirrels tag.
I'm gonna
check it out.
Safe.
Pigskin Bar and Grill, check it out. Awesome place to go.
Great food, great drinks, great burgers. I know you don't eat the burgers there, but I had a great one. I had the firecracker burger for the NHL playoffs. Very spicy, so if you like spicy food,
what fell?
The pound of wings on Wednesday, great deal.
Yeah, great.
That's what
I actually love.
Tomorrow.
I love that deal. Oh yeah, so go get your pound of wings tomorrow.
Cool. All right, well, let's go into the podcast on the sports world. First off, my name is Bobby Levine. Duncan Goldberg and Ethan Graham, who is currently working at Walmart down on East State Street. You want to go check him out and figure out some cool stories. He will brighten your day up. I 100% guarantee it. So last night, the NBA world came to a halting screech after 5 games in the NBA Finals. The Golden State Warriors throttled the defending champions, the Cleveland Cavaliers, in 5 games. An incredible series from the entire Golden State Warriors, other than Game 4. The entire postseason, they went 16-1. The only game losing was a blowout in Game 4 that Cleveland was on the brinks after going down 3-0.
And played amazing.
Amazing. They shot lights out.
86 points in the first half.
Yeah.
They
broke the
first half ever, right?
NBA Finals record. I mean, this stuff can't be made up. There's records broken all over the place. Hats off to the Warriors. I'm going to edit this video tonight, put it in tomorrow with Matt Harrington and I's prediction before the series started. I even said on the last podcast the Warriors would win in 5 games.
Yeah.
So right now I have Golden State winning, but not only winning, but winning in 5 games.
5 games.
5 games.
I
Wrap
can
this
agree
up.
with
They
you.
know they have to wrap it up early. There's no way
I
you
can
can
agree
push
with you on that because LeBron and the Heat, when they beat the Spurs, they came back down from 3-2 or something like that. They won the championship that year. The next year they played the Spurs, they lost 4-1. I can see a similar situation happening in this finals because just simply off the fact that the Warriors got KD.
And you know what? They came true. I won a lot of money. My trip to Boston tomorrow was free, paid off for, so hats off to everyone.
I'm so
out
glad
there
for you
that
that you won all
lost
that money.
Stupid money to me on a
Yeah.
bet that they should have realized that the Golden State Warriors are still a head over heels better than everyone else in the NBA.
And you get this sense in this series, even in that one game, Cleveland played their best basketball. I think anyone has ever seen them play since LeBron came back for round 2. You got the sense in this series from the first game that it wasn't really going to be close. I mean, Golden State's average margin of victory was 14.25 points. I mean,
Big stuff.
even with a couple, closer games in there, you just got the sense, with this series, with Clay, with Steph, with Draymond, even getting him foul trouble, and especially Kevin Durant was the difference. He's by far the best basketball player on the court. It wasn't really even close.
We'll get to it later on talk about if Kevin Durant is the best NBA player later on. I mean, better than LeBron James. I can't even speak right now.
Probably because all that money you won, you're just telling us about.
I'm so pumped up.
I'm so proud of you.
You get it. What is your take on the NBA series that just happened?
It was sadly disappointing.
You were disappointed.
I wanted to see more. I wanted to see more of the Cavs make it interesting. I knew going into the series that the Warriors were the better team. That if they were to play 7 7-game series, so think about that real quick. 7 7-game series, 7 times, that the Warriors would win every single time.
Yeah.
But you knew that just because this is one 7-game series, there was a chance the Cavs, with LeBron, could do something. But it didn't happen. Warriors proved that they were head and shoulders better.
Over, yeah, 100%.
But it was a little disappointing. It only went 5. But I wanted more. I want to watch more basketball.
I mean, everyone wants to watch more basketball. I'm going to say it right now that was the best team ever assembled.
Yeah.
On a basketball court, the Golden State Warriors went out there. They drafted pretty much everyone on that team that had a significant role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Besides Kevin Durant.
And Iguodala, but that was different how they got him.
Kevin Durant, we all know the story, left last July, not even a year ago, after pretty much him and Westbrook, couldn't get the job done, and they just, as you see, they were too much clashing heads. They're too much of a superstar to be playing on the same team.
Yep.
You let Durant have the ball and all this free space with teammates that want to share the ball with him. It's not just like, I gotta get my touches. These guys realize that they have an unbelievable talented team, and Kevin Durant's mom even was on First Take today and was saying this is the most free basketball he's ever seen her son play.
I think, one of the differences between playing with Steph Curry and Russell Westbrook is the fact that when Steph Curry sees someone has as good of a shot as him, he normally passes it to that person. But when Russ sees someone that has as good of a shot as him, he takes the shot.
Yes.
So I think that's the difference between why KD really decided to go play with Golden State. That they decide to pass when there's the same opportunity instead of just shoot their own shot when the chance of a shot going in is equal. So I mean, I know everybody hates KD for leaving, but I'm not mad at him because of the past moves that I've seen.
And it's obvious. I mean, that was clearly the quickest path to a championship.
Yeah.
And he won it, and that's a different conversation. Championship chaser, should he have left? But I mean, that's another reason why he left. Definitely, I think it's the quickest path to a title, and we saw that.
I mean,
do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that right now. I'm fine with it. We can talk about super. We'll stack this in with what LeBron said last night. After the finals were over, LeBron came out and was talked about super teams.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He said, quote, after they said this was probably the best super team he's been a part of, he said he's never been a part of the super team. In my opinion, that's bullshit.
We're in the words of Donald Trump. Wrong.
Fake news.
It's that. Okay.
You talk about that because you were to go off on that.
He created the original free agent super team. You don't know. There was no team like this ever assembled via free agency before LeBron was like, "Hey, everybody."
In all sports,
yeah. So
just basketball.
Before we get going, because everyone here is probably talking about, oh my God, Boston did this back in 2007.
They traded for half their guys.
You're talking about Minnesota right here. They got the best player to ever play for the Timberwolves on a trade that they will look back and just puke at themselves.
At the time, a lot of Minnesota fans thought that was a reasonable trade. Al Jefferson was expected to be a very good player and very young.
Yes. So
at that point, Boston gave up what looked to be fair. And the thing was, Kevin Garnett didn't even want to leave. He told Flip Saunders and the organization that he wanted to stay, but they traded him for the best interest of the club and the team. So that is ridiculous that anyone would compare the Celtics to what the Heat were.
So the Heat were just Dwayne Wade down in South Beach. Mm-hmm. LeBron could not win and was faltering deep in the playoffs. It wasn't even into the championship in the NBA Finals. In 2008 and 2009, after getting swept by the Spurs in 2007.
Yeah.
He saw he couldn't get a team surrounded by him with their ownership and the higher-ups in Cleveland. And he said, I'm taking like he said, quote-unquote, I'm taking my talents down to South Beach, and which he did. Which is fine. But you screwed over Cleveland. It was all set up, in my opinion, which screwed over their entire organization.
On national TV.
On national television. So then he goes down there, and who does he bring less than a week later? Chris Bosh.
Yep. And it's not even the fact that he brought Chris Bosh. He literally brought D Wade too, because D Wade was all set on leaving and going to Chicago. He was fine with going to Chicago at one point. And then LeBron's like, well, why don't we just all go to Miami instead? And everyone's like, yeah, if you're gonna go there, so
might as well have our college days in Miami. We understand that.
He created a super team, and a lot of people are like, oh, Kevin Durant's move was weaker. We had not seen a move like that in the NBA or ever in sports history until LeBron did that. So please quit calling Durant a snake, because LeBron did a snake thing too.
Yes.
If you're comparing them not being snakes, they're both snakes. They're both snakes.
First off, before you say anything, go check our website out, seatattheT.com. All of our social medias are the same, Seat at the T. Jordan Lindsay, our writer down in Florida.
Oh, I love that guy. He's one of my favorite human beings.
You've never met the kid that I love.
Oh, but he's a great kid. But what I was going to say is...
He wrote an article pretty much discussing all this, but go ahead.
What I was going to say is I think we can all agree that the NBA needs to be more competitive top to bottom.
Oh, yeah.
I think, we were waiting for this series all year. We were waiting for it before the year, during the regular season, Cavs Warriors. In the playoffs, okay, let's get ready for Cavs Warriors. And we get it, and it's not really that good of a basketball series.
Yeah. It was a blowout. We thought...
Well, they crushed them, and I think, I don't know what needs to be done. I don't really know the business workings of basketball, but I think there's an argument that something needs to be done about breaking up these super teams. I think most of the league's best players play for two teams, and that's just not that interesting to watch. Over the course of an 82-game season and then a 16-win playoffs.
Two of the best point guards. Two of the best 3-point guards in the NBA, in my opinion.
You could argue the best two.
Yeah,
definitely.
The best two. I mean, Russell Westbrook's obviously up there, but two of the best two. And then the two best small forward / power forwards in the NBA are on the same team too, along with multiple other players that are stars or all stars.
So going back to September and October when this podcast first came out, it was just Jackson and I at a table with a microphone. and we talked about a lot of football, and the NBA was starting to come around. We were talking about that. We even went over our preseason MVP, All-Star voting, and finals. And obviously, it sucks when you know coming into a season who's going to be in the finals.
It's boring.
It's boring. It's like reading a thriller book or watching a thriller movie and watching it in reverse.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what's going to happen. It's like, why are we paying attention?
Yeah.
So what happened was, Jackson and I sat down. We talked about who MVP was. He thought Harden. I thought Westbrook. You know what? It came down to those two in the very end.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
And then we talked about who were going to be in the finals. And we said trilogy.
Yep.
I said Durant was going to be too strong. He thought, obviously, him being a Cavs fan, a little biased. That's fine. He thought the Cavs were going to win. Looking back at it 8 months ago, yeah, you could possibly think that. But right now, the basketball NBA world is in such a 4-tier process, I think, right now. You have tier 1, which is Golden State. They are way above everybody else. I wanted to say before the series it was them in Cleveland, but they've shown how dominant they are and why they're so much better. It's them.
It's Golden State, and then it's
Cleveland.
Spurs and Cleveland.
I would even say Cleveland ahead because they're playing.
Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland.
And then in the West after that, then you have the Spurs, and possibly you have a couple of teams that could come out if they switch up their coaching or players. Maybe the New Orleans Pelicans if they get a player.
They're definitely below.
They're below. You have the LA Clippers and you have the Boston Celtics, who can play well, but they can't get over that hump because they got to go against Goliath.
And they don't have that huge star. You know, there's some free agents this offseason.
The Spurs have the stars, but they can't get past it because not that. No one's as deep of these teams.
Yeah.
You know, Curry or LeBron or Durant not going to opt out. You know, who's the best player available going to be? Gordon Hayward? Is he going to change?
They're talking about Paul George coming out and going to Cleveland, but I think he's too big of an ego to join a narcissist like LeBron and try to help his team.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he wants to be the best player. You get these old NBA teams back in the 90s where there weren't any super teams. You had Patrick Ewing playing by himself, Hakeem Olajuwon playing by himself. The only one was joining teams that were trying to win a championship by themselves.
It was so much better just to see it seemed like for a period of time, one player could win you it all.
Yes.
But now it's like you need 3 players to win it all, and it's kind of depressing.
And you need the 3 of the 5 or 3 of the 4 best.
Yeah, and it's.
Jackson Schroeder's just joined us. So that's cool.
That's great.
So, Jackson, we were just talking about how you and I picked the NBA Finals this pretty much 8 months ago. And moving forward, I mean, unless something dramatic changes, we could see this championship 4 years in a row. Like, not next year, but I'm saying, like, 7 years technically in a row. I don't see anyone leaving these teams. There's no way you're going to see Kevin Durant leave this team.
You never know, though. Kendrick Perkins did say, 3 weeks ago that he was like, oh, Kevin Durant's going back to OKC. And if that happened, I'd be happy.
But he's going to do the same thing LeBron did?
That's what I'm thinking. That is how he would build his legacy up.
Back what LeBron did is how he came back and take away his villain and try to win a championship.
Yeah. So
but how boring is that? Like, he does the same thing LeBron does.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have in my head. It's like he doesn't want to be looked at as such a villain as LeBron did when he was with the Heat. And
I don't think if they lose though, but like LeBron said, if he wouldn't have lost that 4th year in a row with Miami, he would have stayed in Miami because why would you leave a championship team?
Right, yeah.
And so Kevin Durant realizes how much fun it is winning. How much fun it is when you're at the top of the. It sucks when you're at the bottom.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, you look at Nick Saban and Urban Meyer when they win in there. I mean, they always talk about how bad losses are. We cherish it as fans, but them being at the top, is like, we got to stay at the top. I mean, that's what you got to dream about and what they got to do. So, I mean, as long as they keep winning, there's no way the team's going to switch up. LeBron, though, I have a problem with him. We'll talk about this.
I bet you do.
Yes.
I've never had a problem with him, have you?
Yes, the Warriors came together and had the super team made up, but LeBron has the same thing in the East. Not the biggest of stars that the Golden State Warriors have, but from Tyronn Lue down in that organization, he handpicked. He wanted these players. Let me give you some. Let's give you some stats here.
He handpicked Dante Jones.
J.R. Smith, trash. Kevin Love might have a good game and put up 20-something points in the game 1. Still look like trash. After that, horrible in my opinion. And this is all my opinion. You guys can disagree or agree with me. Then you look at the rest of the team. You have Iman Shumpert. Every time the guy touches the ball, as a Golden State fan who I was rooting for in that series, I'm clapping. He's horrible. He's turning the ball over every time he touches the ball, whether it's a missed shot or he's literally dribbling the ball out of bounds. He's horrible. And then Tristan Thompson, the biggest loser on the team. I have to say this right now. The guy has $80 million contract, okay, folks? Let's wrap your head around.
That he wanted so bad.
LeBron wanted him to stay because you know what? He's a good friend. Friends can get you so far in business. Tristan Thompson got out-rebounded by Steph Curry.
Yeah, that was...
You are taller than Steph Curry.
I saw that. That was terrible.
Final stat, 39 rebounds the entire series for Steph Curry. A 7-foot-plus center who's getting paid $80 million.
To get offensive rebounds. That's
29 rebounds the entire series. You got out-rebounded in one game by 10 rebounds. You're a joke, Tristan Thompson. I wish you would watch this because you are absolutely... I mean, it's humor to me.
It's inexcusable.
It's humor to me.
Then he'd look at us with all his $80 million and be like, "Wow, suck it."
I mean, I don't care though. That's fine. You got embarrassed on TV.
Yeah, to add on to your point, not to be a dead horse, I don't know how he was that missing and that outperformed.
Yeah,
but not just his his matchup, but by everyone, really that whole team.
I mean, you got to realize Zaza Pachulia outperformed Tristan Thompson.
He very well performed him at the same exact.
That's fine though, but when you're getting paid, I mean, percentages.
He's getting the veteran minimum. I think.
Yeah, 100%. He's getting less than $1 million, and he outperformed an $80 million guy who's in his prime right now. No one before this year was like, I want Zaza Pachulia as my center.
Yeah, Tristan was very disappointing. JR had a very disappointing series.
J.R. Smith had 0 points in game 2. It was game 2. He had 0 points. In a game you needed him to show up.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up last night, but...
Too little, too late.
Yeah, a little bit too little, too late. And it was every time they were down 10, he'd hit a giant 3 with someone in his face. But, you're down 10, you need more than just a 3 to come back. Yeah, it was disappointing. Iman is... I mean, he's gone. He's a solid role player for a team that's not going to win a championship.
He's absolutely gone, though, 100%.
It sounds like you guys think the Cavs should make some serious moves.
Well, they're going to make some serious moves. I don't know if it's like LeBron. I mean, LeBron said he's going to go home, really think about what's going on. I mean, obviously
he's going to have to ponder all the moves, classes.
He's going to have to.
He's going to be
he's
doing
taking
everything.
the GM role.
GM, coach, owner, LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, he's going to have to realize that he might have to part ways with J.R. Smith. They're going to need a new center down. I mean, the down low pieces are horrible, and the down low pieces for Golden State are even worse. But they got the job done, and that's all that matters.
It's really disappointing. People didn't understand that Kevin Love wasn't as good as he really was until he went to Cleveland.
They thought and also regular season means nothing. You realize that this year that these guys, I guarantee next year too, these guys will take off huge chunks of the year because who cares? Who cares?
Because they can. They showed they can.
They can, yeah. I mean, obviously, Cleveland got the 2 seed and got to the championship with a walk through the East. West is a little different, but if these guys are rested, they don't need the NBA record anymore. I mean, it's a done deal. I can see these guys walking in the playoffs as a 3 or 4 seed and still running through the
more favorable matchups.
They're rested, yeah. And then if you're gamblers, you're going to be all over this because you realize how good this team is. Let's talk about the record that means the most if you're an NBA fan and you're a LeBron fan. Series that matter, he's 3-5. In championship series, take that in, guys. If you think he's the greatest player to ever play, we're not arguing right now. We're saying ever. He is 3-5. And I'm done with excuses. You guys can argue all you want with excuses. Here this, here's that. Folks, if you're the best, you get the job done. Michael Jordan lost 0 times. He left for baseball, came back, and won every single championship. He won 3-peats twice. In the 90s.
People will say, oh, but Jordan lost before he even got to the finals. It's like,
it doesn't matter. So did LeBron. LeBron's lost plenty of times before he got to the finals, but not the last 7 years, sure. But he is, in the last 7 years, he's 3-4, still a losing record. Yeah. And he had the big 3 in Miami for 4 years, and then he's had this team up in Cleveland the last 3 years.
I agree with you guys, but, the other side of it is, and I agree, championship's the most important thing, and winning when it counts, the most important things. Absolutely agree. I'm not going to argue. But I think, the basis of the argument for the people who, are dead set on LeBron being the best player of all time is the statistical side of it.
It's very big.
The first player was 6,000 points in the postseason, LeBron. Now, what does that say? He's played more games. I agree.
He came in the league when he was 18, 19 years old. Michael Jordan was in his college career.
He's playing the East. He's playing teams that are.
The East has been so bad.
And that's just one statistic, but it's an example.
You give me stats, but the only stat that matters is how many rings are on your fingers.
I absolutely agree with you.
I mean, I understand what you guys are saying. Right now, LeBron is the best player in the NBA. Do not get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from him. But best overall, you can't put him up there when you're losing 5 times in the NBA Finals.
Yep, I mean, I agree. I feel like you have to win. You have to win.
I wish we had Lucas on so he could tell you, so we could argue with you. But yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree.
The most important thing is winning. And yes, numbers are very important. But when you what does it matter if you don't
Absolutely.
win?
Yeah.
You're like
It's that simple.
I just
There's
don't-
nothing really more.
And then
to
everyone's
say.
like, oh, Steph Curry's got 2 rings, LeBron's got 3. It's like LeBron's been to 7 in a row.
Hey,
Curry's been to 3 in a row, and he's not done right now. Let me tell you, he's gonna be back next year.
What's the movie? I think it's Bad Teacher, where the kid is talking to the guy, to Jason Sudeikis, I think.
Sudeikis?
Yeah, Sudeikis. And he's just like, LeBron averaged more points, more rebounds, more assists. And Jason Sudeikis was like, he had more rings, Sean.
Yeah.
He's like, is that the only argument you have? And he's like, that's
the only argument.
I
It's
need.
the literally only argument you need is how much hardware do you have? I mean, who's the old guy? Is it Wilt Chamberlain has got all the rings?
Yeah. No, Bill Russell.
Bill Russell's got all the rings on his fingers.
Yeah.
I mean,
And like Bill Russell was probably one of the best player in his time.
and the time.
It's
yeah.
hard to really argue generational talent when it's like this,
So let's talk about LeBron's future. We've talked about the moves that he's made to get this team where it is and how it can't get over the hump right now. Obviously, he got over the hump last year. I think it was lucky last year. What is going to happen? Because his contract ends after next year.
I think he could opt
No,
out.
he's opt out.
this
He
year.
can opt out this year.
He can opt out this year.
Durant can go.
Steph
Durant,
can
no
go.
one on this whole team in Golden State will leave. There's no point for them leaving, in my opinion.
Durant's not going. LeBron's not going. They're all.
I don't know if we can say LeBron's not going.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
Stop.
problem. He's did it before.
Stop.
I think he's going to give it one more chance. But if he doesn't win this year coming up, I will not hold against him if he leaves again.
I mean, I don't think he's leaving. I agree with you, Duncan, but I don't think you ever know.
You hear these guys? They're thinking the Laker theory is correct. He's going to LA.
Yeah.
Going to LA.
Why not though?
He's not.
The team is so young. The team is ready to go.
It will destroy his legacy, and he knows it.
What do you mean? His legacy is already ruined, in my opinion.
No, but there's the 50% of people who love his legacy
Because they're all from Cleveland.
Well, that's fine.
We only know the only thing we realize is we know NBA basketball in Ohio. We go to I used to go to Ohio University. Graduated.
Yeah, we're sitting in a room in the state of Ohio.
In the state of Ohio. If we went out west, what do you think the opinions are there?
That's
We're talking
west, but if you were to look at probably
Look at the Miami Heat
East,
people. You're
if
saying
you're-
they're hoping he's gonna come back.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Messiah.
The majority, if you were to ask people who's the best player in the world right now, I think you'd go Michael Jordan, then people would say LeBron. But if LeBron leaves, people will say Kobe.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. If you're watching this right now, would you think LeBron will leave either this year or next year to go to another team? And what team would you say? Duncan says no.
No.
I say yes. I think he will.
I don't
go.
think it's this year. I think next year.
He either goes back to Miami and stays in South Beach and keeps his body nice and I guess in shape down there
He's
because
already
the
sexy.
sun loves it.
I'm not gonna lie, LeBron, you sexy. That body, I want that.
And then or he goes out west to LA. So I mean I think he's gonna end up trying.
No,
He's gonna do
he's
something.
not.
I can see it after. I can see it after.
He will.
this year,
He might pull a Jordan where he ends up on the Wizards his last year when he's like actually decrepit when he's
Well, Columbus will get a team.
yeah like when something stupid happens.
He
But
goes to Golden State.
he
The other
will-
29
They're
teams just
saying
give
that
up.
he'll take a major pay cut because he gets in $1 billion from Nike. He just takes a pay cut and joins the joins the Golden
Warriors.
State Warriors. What would you say then? The NBA would be pointless.
I would.
It would be the most fun team. I would
cut-
love to watch. The team would be so much fun to watch.
That would be incredible.
I would cut my cable if that.
You would cut the cable cord. All right, folks. What else? You guys? Anything else in the series before we switch on?
Do we need to even talk about how LeBron's better than KD?
That's fine. We all agree right now. LeBron is the best player in the NBA. But I'm telling you right now, KD is a step behind.
Well,
LeBron.
KD.
Cleveland's best player in this series.
I mean,
LeBron was.
LeBron's
freaking
you want to
good.
talk stats? You talk about stats. I think LeBron was the
30
best player.
If you switch.
No, I'm not. I will not.
You
LeBron
switch-
was definitely the best player in this series. Took him off the court. The plus minus was horrible.
I don't know if LeBron was the best player in this series.
You switch LeBron and KD. No question.
35.2
Golden
points for
State.
Durant, 5.2 assists, 8.4 rebounds, 55% shooting.
Game
55% shooting,
Game
47% for
This is a stat that I love to tell everybody. Was it game 2 or game 3? Yeah, it was game 3. The Cavaliers lost by 5. That was the game where Kevin Durant hit that 3 to take the 3-0 lead. Incredible comeback for the Warriors with the last 3 minutes. Everyone that started the game had a huge minus differential in the game except LeBron James.
Yeah.
He was +7 when he was out for the 2 minutes. They were minus 11.
Did
or
you
something
hear
like that.
what Kevin Love was like when he was on in the first half? It was like minus. Actually, it was terrible. It was just
We
so
can go over the whole thing. Kevin Love in the first 3 games was a combined minus 33.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pathetic.
It's because he can't play defense.
He can't
He's a great offensive player, but he can't play defense.
Game 4, LeBron James was a whopping plus 32. That's the series high right there for sure. And then the last game, LeBron James somehow was minus 13. But I mean, he's the best player on the court still. He's aging, but I'm telling you this right now. Yeah. All it takes is one injury, the guy's done.
Oh yeah, no. The thing is,
he's been so gifted.
KD is 4 or 5 years younger than he is.
Yeah.
Age is undefeated. Father Time is undefeated.
That clock never stops.
It will happen. LeBron is great. He's the best player. Give it 2 years, he won't be the best player anymore. But he's had his reign as the best player for 15 years. Like,
easily.
It's like, and someone will take over. But no, nobody's better than LeBron.
So next year, do you see the same two teams in the finals?
Yeah.
Yeah?
If nothing changes.
I really want to say no, but yeah, I can't. Like Duncan just said, yeah, if everyone stays put and
check that though.
Are you saying Chris Paul?
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's a wild card, folks.
Chris Paul.
That's what I was going to wait for you guys to
San Antonio.
If he goes to San Antonio, that team will get nothing but better because they didn't have depth. Once Kawhi went out, they were screwed. And Tony Parker was also
Chris Paul. I don't know what would happen with Tony Parker at that point. But Chris Paul, Patty Mills is a great backup point guard. Like he can play.
Am I trying to get another player with?
Who knows? Manu comes back. Manu's not said he hasn't retired.
I think Coach Pop loves him. I think Coach Pop loves him.
Get some red wine for that guy. But I mean, and Pau Gasol. I mean, he's still a good basketball player, no question. And
he's got rings on his fingers.
Yeah, and Kawhi obviously can compete with
anybody.
KD and LeBron. He could win every one of those matchups every single night if he wanted to.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. That's the wild card. I also want to say, keep an eye on the Pelicans.
You think?
I keep saying that.
I think they have 2 good players.
They got 2 good players, but they got money. They got draft picks. So I'm telling you this right now. Watch out because they also get the pick from the Kings for this trade, which is a huge thing coming up. And then moving forward, there's a lot of big wild cards that are free agency. Chris Paul could be a point guard there. Imagine there's 2 guys down low. Are you kidding me?
Well,
that's deadly.
That's
a big
in the run and gun, all we do is shoot threes in the NBA. I think they would lose.
If you got Anthony Davis, you got Boogie Nights, and then you got Chris Paul. That's deadly. That's a good 3. Nah? What about Paul George?
Good players, not good team.
We'll see though.
Good players that don't equate to a good team.
That's fine.
It's like the Timberwolves.
All right. I mean, all right. Okay. Milwaukee's gonna be good next year too. We'll see. The East will slowly get a game and a half step, but then the Cavs will push them down.
Don't give up on the Celtics yet. I mean, they got players.
They got the first round.
Yeah, if they hit on this draft pick, definitely.
I mean, they don't even need to hit on the draft pick. They could get Paul George. They could. And IT and Paul George. And if they still
if IT can grow like 3 inches, then you got destroyed that series against the Cavs.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true.
I mean, it's gonna be unique. So. Again, the NBA will talk about more next semester moving forward. A huge congratulations to the Golden State Warriors on whooping that Cavaliers' butt. Winning me some money. I'm very happy.
I think that's the first time you said that in this half an hour, right?
No, absolutely not. I've told that multiple times. I'm pumped about it.
But let's just respect that LeBron is still the best.
LeBron's still the best.
Even though we all hate him at this table. Well,
I don't. I sure don't.
I respect his game. I do not like him as a person. Yep. That's what I say. But also, congrats to Kevin Durant for winning a championship.
Yeah.
Oh, it was sweet watching Columbus being the only. I was the only one overly Golden State fan.
Did you see what I tweeted last night?
Born and raised?
No, I didn't tweet born and raised. No, but you know how that you have that Golden State jersey? Who is that?
Kevin Durant.
Is that Durant?
Yeah,
I tweeted last night and I was just like, I can't wait to see how many people try to fight me next year when I get this.
I was the one kid right when he got traded or when he signed, not traded. He signed with Golden State. Last July, I ordered the next day.
Yeah, that's something he would do.
Yeah, 100%. Again, folks, I'm not an NBA fan at all. I like good basketball, and I don't like LeBron James. So the only good team left is Golden State, and you know what? They proved it. So I like triggering fans. I think it's fun. I think it's really fun.
I like triggering fans.
It's funny.
That could be a segment on CST.com.
We could. Last night, a couple of fans at the bar tried to fight me, and I wasn't even being a dick about it. I was just like,
just because you were wearing the jersey.
I was wearing a jersey. The guy told me, shut up.
And this is why we hate Cleveland fans, people. Because they try to fight you because you wear things.
Yeah. All right. So before we even get to it, even that, we have to talk about our sponsors. Hit it up again.
J&J Mobile Detailing.
Yes.
Have you heard, guys? You got a car. You're in the Athens area. You're in the Athens area over the summer. You go down there over to East State Street. You go over there, you get your car washed, rinsed, shampooed, anything you need done to your car, really, Bobby. And here's the other cool thing.
What?
It's a school year, you don't have a lot of time. You're sitting in class, you got to run into the class, got to run to the gym, got to go to your job, whatever the hell you do. J&J Mobile Detailing will pick your car up, do work on it, and put it back within the hour.
Within the hour.
It is incredible. These guys, J&J Mobile Detailing, off East State Street behind Avalanche Pizza. Check them out.
Yeah, no. Also, want to give a huge shout out, John Noble. I don't know if you know John Noble.
Noble.
He actually is out in LA. He actually shared this podcast for us. I do appreciate that. Every time I see the kid, he's out usually.
Oh, he's always
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. But
John,
also,
you're always
leads me right into my pigskin shout out sponsor up on Court Street. I was gonna say East State Street, but they're on Court Street.
Yeah, on Court Street.
Go check it out.
Great food.
Jenny's working right now. She
really?
helped us out huge with the OU artillery and
That's
then
right.
our watch parties there. I want to give you a shout out to Chris Roach, the GM there. Awesome crew, awesome food, awesome cold drinks all summer long. So go check them out as well. Let's get into some huge fun. You have no idea how pumped I am about this, other than you working at Walmart. I'm very pumped about
That's so exciting again.
Very exciting. UFC and boxing news.
It's very interesting.
You guys ready for this one?
I am.
Say it.
We are getting a set date for a fight between the notorious Conor McGregor and Money Mayweather. An incredible fight. This will be the end of boxing as we know it, which will be glorious.
It will be the biggest fight.
All it takes is one round.
Pay-per-view buys.
If he gets through the first round, it ends boxing. There's been a lot of huge-time old boxers that are coming out and not happy with what Floyd Mayweather is doing to the sport. Again, folks, you got to realize this is the best boxer of all time. He is 51-0.
Well, not best boxer, best record.
Yeah, I would
He's
say.
got the most belts as well. He's never lost.
Yeah.
He's the best boxer of all time. He's got 0 losses.
Oh, okay.
Okay? He is the best one of all time before I was rudely interrupted by Duncan Goldberg. He hasn't lost. He's going against a guy who's never boxed in his life. He's been in UFC. It's a whole different sport. It's a different sport. It's called UFC. He's an MMA.
It's called
fighter.
MMA.
It's called MMA. He's an MMA fighter. He's not a boxer. He's used his feet multiple times in actually every single fight except the Aldo fight. But anyways, not going to get involved with that one because Aldo got his ass whooped last weekend. But the fight is rumored to be August 26th. Mark your calendars, folks. This will be bigger than the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight.
Oh,
we saw
significantly.
2 summers ago.
Man, that was such a big fight.
And
too.
But it was a flop.
Yeah, but it's so crazy.
If Conor McGregor wins this fight, you know how big this will be for the boxing fighting world. The fighting world in general, this will be so many fans tune into UFC from here on out. Dana White will be stuffing his pocket full of just $100 bills. Conor McGregor bring home the red pennies, baby. I make the rich.
It's a celebration
I mean,
anytime you get the
every
fight.
time you, yeah, but it's different because he's fighting the most pretty much marketed man ever in sports history with Mayweather. I am so excited.
Yeah,
if this thing could possibly happen.
Can we talk about what I want to see?
What do you want to see?
I just want to see Conor McGregor. I want the bell to ring, square up, and then Conor McGregor just kicks him right.
But
in
they're
the
saying
face
that.
and knocks him out.
They're saying that he might be the guy that goes in the first 30 seconds of the fight because it's guaranteed money. A lot of this is guaranteed money.
and
He'll
he
go in
shoots
there and
for his
shoots
legs
for him or tackles him and starts beating him. And
It'd
then,
be funny.
I mean, it would end
It'd
the
be
fight
funny.
immediately and it would ruin.
It'd be really
Floyd.
funny.
It would be hilarious. But
It's not gonna happen. But
I really think he wants
I
to
would
go
put
out
it past
there.
him.
I want to really see him go out there and fight him. I think this fight's gonna be
Yeah,
incredible.
I think even if it ends first couple rounds, I think this is going to be probably the greatest spectacle in fighting history.
Yes.
Definitely in our lives.
The biggest stage of any sporting event we've ever seen.
Oh,
yeah, it's gonna.
How much money will be involved in this?
Yeah, it's
Two
going to be the
people.
biggest money fight. It's going to be the biggest gate. It's going to be the biggest pay-per-view buy rate. I mean, name your
wasn't
stat.
it Manny Pacquiao and Floyd the biggest?
Yeah.
And now imagine what this.
We gotta realize every year the future goes up, the more money is involved.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
I mean,
sports and stuff in
even
general.
if it was the same year as the Pacquiao fight, I mean,
Very exciting time to be a fight
Yes,
fan, nonetheless.
No, I'm very pumped up. I'll be rooting for Conor McGregor. when
Me
this
too,
happens.
absolutely.
Oh, obviously, I want to see Floyd be knocked out.
Yeah, no,
He talks too much.
He talks. He's a big talker. But so does Conor McGregor.
Speaking of talking,
With
these
the
press
way-
conferences are going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, the press conference leading up to this, with your Dana White in the middle, or he's gonna have to lead it because he's the biggest voice in both boxing and UFC world.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be great. I'm not a boxing fan or a UFC fan. These guys watch a little bit more UFC than I do. That's for sure. That's for sure. But
I know Conor McGregor, and everyone knows Conor McGregor. Everyone will be tuned into this, whether you are a sports fan of high interest or low interest. Everybody will be watching this, and if Conor McGregor wins, a majority of the sports world will be very
There's going to be such heavy bettors, but I want to tell you this, that you and I have been watching UFC you've been watching for a little bit, I've been watching for a little longer than you. My dad was growing up in the boxing world. He used to buy the pay-per-view fights with Ali, Frazier, growing up through the Tyson era. He was living in his apartment in Fox and Hounds when Tyson was knocked out by Buster Douglas from Columbus, Ohio. He said it was incredible. And then he slowly realized boxing was dying after Tyson was on his way out, when he bit Holyfield's ear off. Moving into the 2000s when you had Pride turning into MMA, or UFC, excuse me, and then UFC took off. But he's been watching UFC pretty much from like 06, 07.
Since it really got big.
Got big. The sport is humongous now.
Yeah, it's definitely at an all-time high.
And I still think he would root for Conor McGregor because of what he's done for the sport, even though my dad realizes no matter what, this is going to be horrible for boxing. If Conor McGregor loses this fight in the first round, you're supposed to lose to Mayweather.
He has nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. Everything else to
Absolutely.
gain. It's great for him. So I think he'll be rooting for UFC just for the sport.
I'll be rooting for Conor McGregor in any fight. I think
Yes.
he's just such a great entertainer, let alone outside the octagon. But especially in this fight, definitely.
No, yeah, it's gonna be great.
And I think it's funny because like McGregor's lost in UFC too, so it's not like
not for a while.
Diaz.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like
It's still been
he's
a
not
year
like
or so.
he's not like the undisputed. Like nobody has beat.
Notorious. He's not that speedy. He's notorious.
He can be beat. Floyd hasn't been beat. If a guy who's been beat in UFC can beat a guy who hasn't been beat in boxing, imagine how many questions will be, oh, so many other people could beat Floyd. It's like,
it's great. It's easy to talk. Again, the press conferences are where I'm so
I am so excited, and the Twins just took the lead, too.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Anything else you want to say on this before we switch up?
Nope, should be a great fight if it happens.
It will happen. We're going to get this later this week. You and I will come up with an article with that one.
I will be 21 for the fight, so that might be the best moment.
I might have to come back down to Athens for this to watch it.
Yeah,
I mean,
we might have to.
If not, I'll have it at my house. You guys can spend the night. I really don't care. This will be humongous. So we'll talk. Stay tuned with this.
It's going to be like $100 to buy this fight. It's going to be an exorbitant amount.
Money won't matter at that point. It's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
People will pay.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so now let's flip the script here and talk about the NHL.
We're talking about NHL. Okay.
NHL right now. We'll end with the MLB.
Better, but
Folks, 2 days ago, the NHL world came to a screeching halt in Game 6. The Pittsburgh Penguins went back-to-back like Jordan 96-97. Congratulations to Shane Dazen, one of our own here at the table.
Definitely.
Also, a couple of my best friends, Sam Gar, Ty Neff, Erica Quiston, Scott Horvitz. All these guys are from the Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh area, been diehard Pens fans. Going back-to-back is hard. Winning a championship is hard enough. Going back-to-back is even harder. You know, the Brad
Isn't it funny how they probably shouldn't have won like 2 of those games though, too?
Yeah,
referees
there's definitely
big time.
There's definitely some debate there.
Those strikes helped you.
It always does. I mean, they're gonna be mad watching this if they're Pittsburgh Penguins fans.
I mean, let's be honest. I think they know. I think they should know at this point. I mean, that first goal.
There's definitely some help.
The quick whistle.
No one really wants to call anything on Crosby. It's been that way for years. I mean,
the thing that
there's definitely some help, but I don't think the officiating, would have changed the series one way or the other. I think a move I certainly look at the Penguins, that got them to this point, that certainly helped them get to this point, was holding on to Marc-Andre Fleury in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. He will be gone after this year. I think he might be the goaltender for the newest team ever on the block, the new kids on the block, the Los Angeles Knights, or Las Vegas Knights, excuse me. But, yeah, MVP, in my opinion, through the first half of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, he tripped up there in the Ottawa series, and they switched to Matt Murray there. But, yeah, I mean, you look at, what if they didn't have him to plug in Game 1 against, it was Game 1 against Columbus, and, especially moving on into, better competition in Ottawa and eventually who they just played, Nashville, right?
Yeah, I mean, they beat Washington on a huge series with Murray still out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got by what everyone thought was a juggernaut in the East, but again, they choke every year, so...
Yeah, I feel bad for the Capitals fans.
I mean, it's frustrating. I think Ovechkin might be leaving on the way out, too.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean,
I think he's done.
I could see him leaving, yeah.
Imagine this.
Going to Minnesota, right?
Why does everyone go to Minnesota? I should go to Las Vegas.
You probably could. I mean, you'd rather go to Vegas and get drunk before every game.
We have so many Russian girls all over.
Love Russia.
Yeah, it's vodka.
Vodka. We drink vodka before the game.
Yeah, no, that's
I mean, I gotta give it. I mean, you have to tip your hats to the Pens. I mean,
Absolutely.
Obviously, none of us here are Penguins fans. I wish we'd had Shea Dazon on for the show. Unfortunately, he's nowhere close to Athens. But regardless, I mean, that's exciting to win back-to-back. I just think this is the end of the run. I think they've had it so. The funny article, though, that came out right before Game 5, after the Nashville tied it up, was an ESPN guy came out and had that article that if the Pens don't win Game 5 and take the lead on the series, that Malkin and Crosby's legacies in Pittsburgh's will be always tarnished. They've done so much for the freaking city.
Yeah, I mean, hockey almost left Pittsburgh. If you
but they brought up. It's not like they left with them on the team. Once they were on the team never looked back.
Right. That's exactly what I mean. These guys, were an instrumental part not only in winning cups but keeping the team, in Pittsburgh and
let's
having this legacy now.
Let's be honest here. Pittsburgh was probably the best team the entire year. I know Washington had a good year, but it was like the Cavs in the East.
Yeah.
They didn't win because they were missing some guys during some of the year. I mean, they had 3 of the best players in hockey on their ice, and they were the better team. They might have been, in my opinion, they were outplayed by Nashville most of the series.
Definitely.
But they were the better team.
Scored more goals,
year.
and that's what mattered. Another thing out of this series, Sidney Crosby, his second Conn Smythe, that is one more than Wayne Gretzky.
That's amazing.
Sidney Crosby, last year I don't think he should have won. I think there's maybe 3 people you could have put in front of him winning that playoff MVP, but this year certainly deserved it. 2 Conn Smythes now. And another thing with Pittsburgh is you look at, the names they have. Outside of those 3, Kessel, Malkin, and Crosby, they didn't really have a lot of names you looked at going into this playoffs, coming into this year.
Young stud.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a guy like Jake Gunsel, who played great hockey throughout the playoffs, looks like a star now for them. I mean, you say the run's over, I don't think going to be missing the playoffs anytime soon, but I could see them certainly getting back to the conference finals and, maybe even ending up here. They did it this year with, a whole bunch of no-name players outside of those 3 or 4. And, it was great hockey to watch.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not the outcome I wanted to see, if I'm being completely honest. But
That's fine.
great hockey.
I think Conor McDavid's the next guy in line, though. Connie Mack. He's so good. You know what? We're gonna have this bet from here on out.
Are we?
Yes, we are.
Is that how this is
I was
gonna go?
actually gonna say the last segment. I was gonna say either we have that bet or we have Conor McGregor the bet. If he wins the fight, you get him notorious.
The tattoo.
Not like the monkey, but somewhere like on your body says the notorious Conor McGregor, like him posing or something like that. Would you rather have that on you or Connie Mack?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Both of them. You get one on both butt cheeks. That would be great. We had a podcast with Edie get his ass
Both bets are a solid chance of happening.
The odds are going to be so in favor of Pacquiao or Mayweather.
That's why you put money.
That's why you put money on it, folks. You know what? The free money store never fails.
You put $10 on McGregor, you're probably going to win money on that.
No, you should. I mean, absolutely. If you
you
want
probably
to
get not just money, you'll probably be in $200.
Real quick, before we transition out of hockey, guys.
MLB. What's up?
Ilya Kovalchuk, great hockey player, played for the Thrashers and New Jersey Devils for a number of years. Scoring machine, then went over to the KHL to Russia. Is rumored to be looking at coming back to the NHL this season. So look out where he lands. I know you and I are big Columbus fans. Columbus has kicked the tires on him. I mean, he'd be an absolute game changer for this franchise. But it doesn't sound like there's a ton of interest. But
a lot of
why wouldn't you kick the tires on a guy like this, right?
The new logos, Adidas logos, are finally dropping.
Oh yeah.
The 20th, I believe, of June. About a week from now. So watch out for your logo possibly changing. Very exciting news for teams that are looking for a fresh new start. We're going to switch gears and hit the last segment before we end the podcast here on this beautiful Tuesday evening in Athens, Ohio.
Gotta love it.
Again, I'm Bobby Levine. Alongside me is Ethan Graham and Duncan Goldberg. Ethan Graham is a new employer at Walmart here on East State Street. Not a proud sponsor yet.
We'll see.
Will be. Possible.
I'll talk to Derek McMillian.
Yeah.
We're close.
We're not close. Let's talk about all your. I think you got a couple people on here, Duncan, that are following you on this podcast as we speak. Your Minnesota Twins are in first place in the AL East or AL Central, and they are minus 39 in the run differential. How was this bullpen doing so horribly, but they're playing above 500 by 4
All right. One of the things that, like, look at this box score. Let's see if we can pull it up quick.
Which game?
Just go to the Minnesota Twins game to game, like their log, their game log for the month.
Okay.
They will lose games by 10 runs.
Well, you guys got smacked by Houston.
They lose games by 10 runs, but when they win by 1 or 2.
Yeah, you got a good bullpen, but very back in the bullpen.
It's so weird.
Well, you guys got swept. You guys got swept by Houston. There's 3 games in a row, and you guys got outscored, I think, by 30 plus runs.
It was so bad.
I'm going to go to your thing right now. I mean, it was amazing. It would be like I forget what pitcher was pitching, and he would get done with the 6th inning. It was a 2-run game where he had the lead, and you guys gave up 10 runs.
that was really bad.
We were winning.
You were winning.
They were winning. They were up 6 runs or 7 runs.
It was 16-8. Santiago. That's it. 17-6. You guys lost that game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That series, you guys put up a total of 16 runs in 3 games, which is good baseball. I mean, you divide 16 divided by 3, you're averaging 5 runs a game. That should give you a win every single time.
The bullpen is literally the worst bullpen in baseball.
35 runs.
It's incredible.
35 runs in 3 games.
They're so.
That's horrible.
The bullpen is so bad, and the thing is, the bullpen somehow will get you a win in some games, but a lot of the games they're just losing it for them.
I mean, there's a reason why Kinsler.
Freddie Kinsler.
He's hit 17 saves. We're in June.
He blew 2 saves.
Like diabetes stuff. Don't worry about it.
He's died.
I'm worried about it. Do you need some insulin? You need to do some insulin?
We'll figure it out.
He blew 2 saves back to back for like the first time, but he was so good all year long, and he's done well the past couple games since. He's not a closer. He's a good pitcher. He's a good maybe setup man. They need a real bullpen if they want to continue to win. Maybe this continues to work out. I don't know how it's still happening.
I mean, the Indians are kind of like the Cubs right now. They haven't got the stride yet.
The Indians have this thing where they have so many strikeout pitchers, but their strikeout pitchers just give up so many. Like, as a strikeout pitcher, you give up big hits.
Yeah.
And that's what they do, and that's their problem. And with the Twins, they have these guys that are just pitchers who throw to contact. And when they give up hits, they just give up hits. They don't get hit around like for home runs every at bat. So they're able to stay in games with their starting pitching somehow. But
I look at Minnesota, and you just look at them statistically. I honestly don't know how they're winning games.
Talk about it.
You have Irvin Santana, who's a stud this year. 3 complete game shutouts in 90 innings, an ERA in the low 2s. You have Hector Santiago and Phil Hughes on the DL, probably their 2, 3, 4 pitches.
I had him on my fantasy team.
And you have guys like Kyle Gibson stepping up. Jose Barrios just looked great through 6 starts, 2.84 ERA.
Only 2 guys on the team that can pitch a baseball are Irvin Santana and Barrios.
And it's just incredible. You would say I don't think it's sustainable, but really the only people who are going to get in the Twins' way is the Twins. You look at Cleveland, who has the worst starting pitching ERA in the American League. I mean, when they figure that out, I think they'll easily win that division. Detroit, I don't think is getting in their way. They're throwing a AAA guy tonight. They run back and forth from Toledo to eat innings. I mean, I think Detroit has the bats, but I don't think they're a team that can contend.
The Twins could literally win this division.
I think they absolutely
could. And they could win this division maybe going under 500.
I don't think it's quite that bad. I think they could win this division at 89 games. I don't think they have to get to 90.
Yeah, 89. They could, because this division is not playing good baseball. I mean, Lindor, I think, is still slumping pretty hard.
I mean, we're both your division, and then I'm obviously a diehard Reds fan with Ethan, but like both divisions are barely the Brewers are in first place by a game over 500.
Oh my God, the Twins have a better record than the Brewers.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like they've been falling off. Like no one in this entire division is playing well. The Brewers have lost 3 games in a row. The Reds are staying 3 games behind first place, and they've lost 4 in a row.
Badly. 4 in a row,
badly. Like we went on a 4-game sweep and had Scooter Gennett at 4 bombs.
That was ridiculous.
He had 2 home runs going into the game. So incredible. I mean, baseball is still so early on.
Yeah, it really is early, and it's easy to say that in April and May, but even June, it's still really early in the season.
The one thing that's very impressive about the Twins so far is they can hit, though. They can hit. And it's these guys that you're like, who? Like Robbie Grossman? Do you know who that is?
I do.
He's Jewish.
Played for the Astros last year, didn't he?
No, he played for Astros 2 years ago.
Robbie Grossman.
Robbie Grossman was.
Who's this guy?
I think he was DFA'd. Dude was DFA'd.
DFA.
Designated for assignment.
Oh,
And the Twins were just like, yeah, we'll take him. He's got a good on-base percentage. He doesn't hit as well as normal.
Playing Moneyball.
And dude is hitting like 280 now. His 6 or 7 home runs, and I think he's second or third in Major League Baseball in on-base percentage, and he plays every game now. Basically, let's check. I'm honestly.
I'm going to Grossman right now. Let's check him out. Where's this guy coming from? I mean, there's a lot of young studs coming up. Okay, this guy's 27 years old.
Yep.
Turning 28, which is like about to be he played for the Columbus Clippers. That's cool.
Yep. He had a decent season last year where you're like, okay, he could start for most teams. This year, dude has literally. Let's see if we can figure this.
He's played for the Astros and the Twins since this past year. So.
Yeah, his on base percentage is .404. Most players don't have that in Major League Baseball. And this guy is like a guy that they picked off from the street. We're like, hey, you can come play here because we need a 4th outfielder. And he's literally one of the best outfielders in baseball right now. That's how ridiculous it is. So he stepped up. Miguel Sano obviously is a monster.
Great hitter.
Strikeout or home run almost every other at bat, but
Yeah, I mean, he's getting his job done.
Joe Mauer. I'm 4 years removed from relevancy. Joe Mauer is like the second best first baseman in the AL right now. Average wise. How did that happen? Someone please update me on how this is going on. He's gonna die soon with that.
I think you're gonna die soon with how excited you are about this baseball game. I think they better start losing.
4 games over, you act like you won the pennant.
Dude, this is unbelievable. Like,
You're gonna be out of the first round.
And Brian, dude, I'd take the first round. Get me to the playoffs. We haven't seen that crap in like multiple years.
Did you guys lose? Did you guys get swept by the Yankees in like
Every year.
Most times.
Oh my goodness! But I guess good luck.
Dude, if they make the playoffs, I will be wasted.
he's gonna get arrested again.
No.
We'll have a live stream on that one too, folks.
No, but literally, if they make the playoffs, it might be the biggest upset we will see in Major League Baseball in the entire year. Because Brewers, we knew that they could hit. They had some players. Are you looking at this?
I'm just seeing if anyone. Yeah, I mean, one of my buddies, Soup, has him. So
He's relevant. He's relevant.
he's the 61st best outfielder. My worst outfielder is Benintendi, who's the 21st best. Yeah,
He's a good baseball player.
So yeah,
Oh well, I mean, fantasy-wise, he's not like
that's what I want to have. So anything else before we wrap this up?
Wait, let me look this up.
What are you gonna say?
The Wild Wild West, the NL West. We already have a few divisions in baseball shaping out to not be great, like the NL East and the AL West, with Houston running away with that one,
Okay.
and Washington running away with the East. But the NL West, there is 3 good teams out there right now, and I think three of the best teams in baseball. You have Colorado,
Dodgers.
who's lacking pitching. Let's do one at a time here. Colorado's lacking pitching, lacking starting pitching certainly. They have some hammers in the bullpen, Bobby. Greg Holland, Adam Ottavino, great guys to have in the bullpen. They can maybe pick up a starting pitcher or 2 at the deadline. Look out. They certainly have the bats. They might have the best lineup in baseball. If they can add a catcher, they can get Trevor Story hitting better than the low 200s. I think this is a dangerous baseball team. Arizona, who has the new manager in there, Torey Lovullo, sitting at 39-26. Zach Greinke going tonight for them, 7-1 with a 3.17 ERA in his last 9 starts, along with the .94 walks and hits per innings pitched. I mean, Arizona's dangerous. They have Robbie Ray pitching great baseball for them.
Littering.
Yeah, I love littering too.
I
I love baseball, but I love littering a lot too.
He has freaking Capri Sun just chilling.
Well, I mean, I'm diabetic, folks. Welcome. Hey, look at this new thing. How cool is this?
Wow, that's cool. That's a lot cooler than the NL West. So I'm just ending on that.
Can you play the song so we can end it on the high?
Oh yeah, diabetes. 1 second. Well, now you gotta let me find it.
It's in your email.
But yeah, well, I gotta go to. Oh crap, I gotta go to my email.
We might Brandon Dubinsky.
Well, let me say one last thing. The
Please
Twins
do.
are gonna win the pennant, and
Golden State style. They're not going to lose on the way there.
everyone in baseball is gonna be.
myself.
How the heck? Let me. All right, we're getting.
This is great content.
This is great.
This is great. You should start talking
I
about
was a
baseball
Warrior,
to watch
I was
again.
a Warriors fan ever since they formed a team, and that's how I am. A Warriors fan.
Everyone out there?
I'm a Warriors fan. I'm a Cubs fan. I'm a Pens fan. I'm
Clemson.
a Patriots fan.
Clemson fan.
Clemson fan. And Alabama sometimes.
Myles Garrett is going to save the Browns. You heard it here first. SeizeTheT.com.
Everyone be safe. Check out Apparel Metal Week.
Juju on that beat.